Hello everyone, Clutch450 here from Rogue Tutorials, where we teach you how to do some retro online gaming using emulators. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about Net64 Plus and how you can use this program to play Super Mario 64 online with friends. And I know what you're thinking, Super Mario 64 didn't have online play or multiplayer for that matter, so how does this work? Well, ultimately what this program will let you do is let you play Mario 64 online with up to 16 players, and you can choose from different characters as well. So if that sounds fun to you, then follow this guide and I'll get you set up in no time. So first thing we got to do is go to Google and type in Net64 Plus. This will take you to the Net64 homepage. I'll also include the link in the description below. So click on this. I would recommend you look through the wiki page, especially the troubleshooting. It's got some good tips here, specifically the common bugs. It's recommending to run both Project 64 and Net64 as administrator. It's also saying make sure your ROM is clean, meaning it's not patched, doesn't have any mods on it or anything like that. It's telling you what the possible naming could be, but ultimately you need to make sure it's a USA ROM and it's in the Z64 format. Computer must be 64 bits. Pause the emulator and then connect Net64 and then unpause it afterwards. So let's see. Yeah, restart both the client and the emulator after making changes. And a whole bunch of other things that I would highly recommend you read through here first before doing anything else. All right, so now that we've read that, we're going to go ahead to download, and we're going to download Net64 Plus. Click that, and then save it to your downloads folder. Once it's done downloading, go into your downloads folder, and you'll see Net64 Plus, and it's a .7-zip file. So use your zipping program of choice in order to unzip it. I use 7-zip. And the important thing here, regardless of what program you use to unzip it, is you have to extract it into its own folder. So make sure you choose Extract to Net64 Plus. Now that it's in its own folder, you can go ahead and place this wherever you want. For all of my modified emulators for online play, I always put in my online emulators folder here. So drag and drop it right into here. The other thing you're going to need to do is get your copy of your game. I like to put it in the emulators folder in a new folder here called Games. So now I'll open up my Games folder, get my Mario 64 ROM. My version is called Super Mario 64, parentheses USA, but the important thing is that it's the USA ROM .z64. If yours is any other file extension or it is in a zip format, you'll have to unzip it first before you play it. So I'm going to go ahead and drag and drop my game over here. And the first thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to open up the client. So go into the client folder, Net64, scroll down until you see Net64 Plus. And as it said in the troubleshooting, we want to run this as administrator. And to do that, you right click it and then click Run as Administrator. And you'll get a thing popping up saying, do you want to run this? Choose yes. And here it is. So first things first, it gives you a little FAQ and a little tutorial on what you have to do. So it's telling you you must use the emulator, which comes bundled with Net64 Plus. And it's telling you these are what the emulator settings need to be. So let's go back to the emulator folder. Right here, again, we're going to need to right-click Project 64 and run as administrator. Again, click yes when the box pops up. And here we go. So this doesn't specifically call it out, but you should have the game running when you're setting these settings up. So what I like to do is go to File, choose ROM directory, and choose that games folder where I put the Mario 64 ROM. Click OK. Now what pops up here is it says it's a bad ROM, but it's really not. I don't know why in this modified version of the emulator this isn't recognized as Super Mario 64, but you can just ignore it. The important thing is here is that you can click on this. So double click this, and then Super Mario 64 should start. Hit F2 to pause the emulator. Now from here, you can go to Options, go to Settings, and Options, make sure Pause Emulation when window is not active is unchecked, and make sure Hide Advanced Settings is unchecked. Next, you want to go down to Configure Super Mario 64, which this will only be here if you are running the Super Mario 64 ROM in the emulator. That's why we had to run it and then pause it here. Once it's selected, we need to go to 16 megabytes. We need to go to counter factor of 1, and everything else you can leave the same. Be sure to click Apply and then OK. The other thing you want to do is also make sure that your controller is configured. So go to Configure Controller Plugin. I'll leave it up to you to decide what controller you want to use and how you want to map all the buttons. For me, I'm using a real Nintendo 64 controller with a USB adapter called the BlissBox Gamer Pro. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to select your controller from the drop down here, and then click these little squares next to each of your buttons, and press the button on your controller to match what you want to do. So for the digital pad, up, down, left, right, analog, up, down, left, right, left trigger, right trigger, C, up, down, left, right, B, A, start, and then the Z trigger. Once those are all mapped, you can click OK. And then if you remember from the troubleshooting guide, it says once you change your settings, you need to exit out of both Project 64 and Net64, and then start them back up again in order for the settings to take effect. So let's go back into Project 64, run as administrator, and then go back to the client, Net64, run as administrator. So let's make sure that these settings stuck. So double click. Again, press F2 at the title screen. And let's check it. So let's go to settings. And we're at 16 megabytes, counter factor 1. And our controller is still configured. Excellent. So now that we have all that set up, we're going to go connect to a server. Now, you can go ahead and connect to any server you want that is listed here publicly, or you can do a direct connect. I'm not going to go through how to direct connect because I'll be honest, I'm not 100% sure how to do that successfully. So basically what you're going to do is click Got It. And now you need to click the Start button here. It's going to tell you you must set a username. So let's choose my name, Klutz450, and then choose whatever character you want. So I'm going to stay as Mario. I wouldn't worry too much about gamepad. I haven't used it, and it doesn't seem to cause any problems for me. In-game chat view, I like to put that yes. This way you can chat to each other, and it will show up on the game itself. Yeah, don't worry about any of this stuff. Click Save. Now you can go click back to Emulator. You must start and select an emulator. So here we go, Project 64, Super Mario 64, select. And let's look and see. It looks like the only person playing is on this server here. Looks like it's in Germany. Let's go ahead and connect and see if we can find them. So connect. And now that we connected, press F2 to unpause the emulator. Press start. Says connected to server. Now the important thing you need to do is always connect to file A. So it tells us where I'm at. I'm at the start. This is me. I'm Mario. Diego is playing as Kirby, and he's in THI. I'm not sure what this abbreviation is for. Tiny Huge Island, maybe? That could be where he's at. And then this little radar here will kind of show you where people are if you're getting close. So we'll let this play. All right. And here we go. So this is going to play exactly like how the regular game would. The only difference is you are now going to be sharing stars. So if Diego were to get a star in Tiny Huge Island, we will show that we have a star. Now here's the problem. The stars only sync when you are in the room and someone gets it. So for all we know, Diego here, he could have 100 stars right now, but it doesn't matter. Those stars won't sync to me. So that's why I can't go into anywhere other than here. So make sure that if you're going to be playing with someone, that you all start at the same time. And you can also chat too. So I can click here and type in hello. And since we have the chat on screen enabled, which we enabled here, it shows up there. So that's pretty much it. Sorry I can't show you more, like show you a bunch of other people here, but I'm going to go ahead and disconnect. So we disconnected, X out of this, X out of this. And that's basically it. So this was a fairly short tutorial, and I'm sorry that I didn't get a chance to show more people playing, but this is just as easy to get it set up. And as I said before, you can join their Discord right here. There's 1,433 players online. So join their Discord, try to get some games going. You can also join my Discord, which will be linked below. You can reach out to me directly, and I can help you get some games going, host my own server, and ultimately just have some fun playing games that in ways we never thought were possible. So I hope you guys all found this informative, and you get this up and running fairly quickly. If you need anything, let me know. Have a good one.